Hey everybody, Rob Endsley here from the Outdoor Line. It's been a while since we've done a last cast segment. We've got John Martinez in here from John's Sporting Goods today, who was a guest on the show. And of course, John's right there in Everett and is right there at the epicenter of all the blackmouth fishing that's been going on here in the Puget Sound. And he was kind enough to bring in some of the gear that's really been working in the Sound. Of course, we've been talking about our Blue Crush flashers and some of the stuff we've been using. But John brought in a bunch of gear, including his red hot flasher that he's been using, as well as some of these small spoons with the hoochies on them, John. I want to talk about those a little bit and how to rig those up and really why those have been working so well. So why don't you talk about some of the stuff you brought in, man?
Well, these are size 2.5 and 3 spoons, and what's important is the size, especially for winter blackmouth. A lot of small herring and sand lance around this time of year, and that's what these smaller spoons are trying to look like while you're fishing. You have to have your spoons look like the size of baits out there, because that's what really matters.
Matching the hatch this time of year is the name of the game, man.
It has a lot to do with success rate. Now, what you can do with your spoons, you can add UV squids, you can add glow squids, and so you can dress them up to give them something that the spoon doesn't have already.
And you brought some of those in. These are Gold Star hoochies, and these aren't your average size hoochies. These are the little mini hoochies. I see a purple UV here and a black double glow, kind of a speckled back, spatterback double glow there. And how do you put these things on the hook? Because there's a trick to keeping these things on the hook that some people don't know how to get them on there and keep them on. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I've made it really simple. Is what you do is you take your hoochie and you thread it on the hook about 3/4 of the way up the hook, and you take some gel super glue. The gel type of super glue is what works the best, and then you slide your hoochie up there. And when you slide it up there, make sure you do it all in one motion, because when you stop sliding it,
it's not going anywhere, is it?
And I'm telling you what, Rob, if you try to take that squid off that hook right now, you will tear the squid in two. So it's there permanently, and that's real good because it'll be good for multiple fish.
Yeah. So what are some of the colors we got here? This looks like a white lightning. What's the one you had right there? What are some of these hot colors to use right now in the Sound?
Okay, white lightning is a good color.
And why is it white lightning? Why do they call that white lightning, by the way?
It's white and it has a UV coating on it. And then you have cookies and cream, Irish cream, and my all-time favorite, and a lot of other people's all-time favorite, that's Red Racer. And I have a green and white UV squid on there.
Now, what about leader? I see you got some fluorocarbon leader here. Is it important to run fluorocarbon with spoons, and what pound test do you run?
There's two good things about fluorocarbon. Is number one, it's very stiff and it's very clear. And you can use 30 or 40 pound fluorocarbon leader, so tie up your leaders ahead of time, and you can use P-line or you can use Seaguar. There's several brands that are fairly good, but keep your leader size above 30 pound, because you get a 10 or 12 pound blackmouth on, he'll rip that spoon right off that flasher if you're not at least using 30 pound.
Oh yeah, they'll break it. We've had some of those break-offs too as well. And then check sometimes you're banging the bottom a lot. You want to check your leader on occasion and make sure you haven't dinged up your leader, because you're slamming the bottom all the time. That's where these blackmouth are hanging out. Every time you come up, every other time, just kind of give it a quick check. Make sure you don't have a ding in there, because we have had some blow-offs on the downrigger where you got a good bite and it's just gone, and they actually break the spoon right off. So it's something you want to watch for when you're trolling for blackmouth, for sure.
And that leads us right into the next question. How long is the leader supposed to be?
I was going to get to that,
42 to 60 inches. 42 seems to work really, really well, and that's from the end of the flasher to the beginning of the spoon. I'll tell you a good rule of thumb is tie your leader on this end, make it 10 inches longer than you want it to be. When you tie your knot on the spoon, it'll be exactly what you want it to be.
Yeah, that's always something that I have problems with. I stretch it out and think, it might be 3, 4, 5 inches, and when I tie it, it ends up a little bit too short. Nice thing about these, it doesn't have to be exact either. I mean, when you're tying, these have their own action. You can put a little bit of a bend in these spoons too and get a little more action out of them. The bottom line is, though, spoons are catching a lot of fish in the Puget Sound, not only in the winter, but in the summer as well. There's so many colors to choose from now, and I know a lot of guys that were hoochie fishermen for decades, and they're all fishing spoons now because they're just so effective. You can match the hatch with them. There's multiple sizes. You got them from 2.5 all the way up to 5 and 6 inches long. They're really effective, John. So I appreciate you bringing this stuff in and showing us what the drill is on the Puget Sound right now for blackmouth.
So let's get rigged up and let's go fishing.
Yeah, we're going to go this week. So that's your last cast segment here. for the first day of February 2014. Go out and catch some blackmouth and use your spoons. If you get some photos of some blackmouth here you get in the next couple of weeks, post them up on the Outdoor Line forums. We'd love to see photos of your fish. Thanks for watching here today.